based on this draft, Cinderin?
I think I'm kind of with the panel. I think this strategy to me makes a lot more sense for Carrie Ench, not only what she's surrounded with, but I also think the enemy matchups she has in this game are better. These are heroes you can more reliably hit. The Medusa matchup should be pretty interesting to see. There's no Puck this time that's going to evade everything. Ember is arguably also kind of tricky, but at least the offlaner isn't a Weaver as well. Okay, hang on. We're going to have a...
Yeah, the good old-fashioned brawl. Costabile gets hit. But it looks like Fata is going to be the one that gets first blooded. Gunnar, in the meantime, pops that Fairy Fire, trying to buy some space. Moo, very low on HP as well, gets the soul assumption off. Quinn goes down as a result, so Gunnar will somehow live. That was a long-range bomb from Moo. Died shortly after as Husky now getting chased by Leslau.
Oh, nice.
Whoa, the hammer from the low ground. So double kill for Leslau. Husky looks to be next. And now Yawar is going to be next on top. What is this beginning of the game? Holy Jesus, Z-Freak has that Scorched Earth.
Oh.
MSS with the rebound. Continue to get right-clicked by Costabile, who's continuing to heal Z-Freak, but it's not going to be enough to save his life. 4-3, beginning of the game as MSS. It's not over yet, Cinderin. Getting chased by Costabile. It'll take a few more right clicks. Not sure if he's going to find it as MSS laughing it off as well as Cinderin.
I think this was the score at 12 minutes in the last game. That's what a great... I love 5v5 fights early on that don't just have one team come out with first blood and that's it. Like those brawls that just extend where both teams have a lot in the tank are always really funny to watch. But yeah, let's try to get a little bit back on track with the strategy. So like you said, Quincy are currently 9-0 in games. I think Nouns are 8-4, if I'm not mistaken. So a couple of their series have gone the distance, whereas Quincy have yet to even be forced to a third game. And yeah, this game, their strategy, it's very sound. I think it's stable. It's something that's good in the patch. But I want to focus a little bit more on Nouns, like particularly what they have done to make this a better carry Ench game. So like Effie pointed out, they have more pushing power this time around by playing it together with the Visage. I think their early game is arguably even stronger this time. I think the mid-Tiny might play a heavy burst route that will prove more impactful than the Clock did last game. And should things go wrong, I don't feel like this is just a gimme for Quincy at minute 30 plus. Like, there is scaling potential in this Radiant lineup that enables it to go later. Visage can become powerful. Doom as a 4 is one of the most scaling supports in the game. You have the Tiny mid instead of a Clockwork. You know, the pieces are there, so...
Yeah, we have the rebound dispose. Husky might quite low. Yeah, gets off the cold embrace, but I have to think he eventually go down to Leslie. Actually, it lasts for quite a while, so he will walk away just fine. And I mean, the thing I love about Nouns drafting, even if it is wonky at times, is the flexibility. Like, they seem to value the versatile picks because at the end there, it's like, okay, technically all 5 of these heroes can be flexed in some position. I mean, look at all 5 of them. These have all been played support semi-consistently in this DPC season, so pretty cool to see.
It makes drafting against the team, it can make it a bit complicated, but at the same time, I think it's a balance thing where you can also overcomplicate things for yourselves. Like, it can get a little bit of become a mess in the end, where it's like, oh, we need to assign the roles, and yeah, like, I'm a big fan of flexibility, but I don't think necessarily you need 5 heroes. Maybe like 2 or 3 is enough so that you can build a solid foundation and then decide late in the draft where you want to go with things. But like this, I also think the heroes that they flexed this game don't... nice pressure onto Fata here. They might
Soul
actually...
Assumption still... Oh, there, that should be enough there. I think the Scatter Blast actually gave him that third point
been fine.
in Soul Assumption. Fata just wanted a way back into the base. That's fine for him. Yawar gets the solo XP, as intended by Quincy Crew. Of course, we should mention... I mean, last time, I'm sure this has happened since then, but when I see Medusa Yawar versus a Tiny...
Yeah.
Do you remember the toss feature from way back when? Doubt we get to see that again. As Scatter Blast Fata. See, he's refreshed. He gets the kill now.
Yep.
That was never fixed, right?
I think it was.
Oh, it was fixed.
I believe that was changed, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing.
Well,
I figured that was a feature.
That was quite the feature.
Bring back Pudge Hook to Fountain as well.
Mid lane, Quinn might actually kill Gunnar here.
Yep, Searing Chains is available.
Not quite enough. All right.
Plants a tree and Quinn will eat it.
Yummy. So I was going to say one final comment on the whole flexing thing. I think what makes flexing heroes really powerful is when they demand response and then you can pivot, right? So if the heroes that you pick flex are exceptionally powerful at one aspect of the game, so the enemy team kind of has to cover their bases in that regard, and then you're like, haha, it was just a support, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of the flex that the Nouns have picked here, nice cold embrace there from Husky, will keep him safe. I think a lot of the flex that they pick doesn't necessarily demand a lot of response. Does that make sense? Like, I think the way Quincy has drafted in this game, no matter who was which role, they would have been able to solve it relatively easily by putting stable lanes. Like, there's a lot of flexibility in the Radiance lineup, but like, what's the gotcha factor where you put a hero in a different role where it's like, oh damn, how do we solve that with the heroes we have?
Well, just depends on the perspective of like how the lanes are going, right? Because last time we saw Costa be playing the off lane as the position one. Now he's in the safe lane. Like, so
I'm just looking at Quincy's heroes and not really seeing major issues in terms of enabling their lanes and being able to scale. So I think the...
Ooh, Scatterblast onto 2 heroes, but Fata takes a Soul Assumption to the face. Z-Freak gonna have to walk away with that Scorched Earth. Fata again taking more damage from Soul Assumption. You are completely out of mana as now Husky has come with that Arctic Burn. And Fata's actually hidden quite well, but you are continuing to get beat on by Z-Freak. And Fata finally shows himself, so will find his way to the fountain
there. Oh well, 3-man kill, 1-man rotation, the Wyvern.
And we should mention Z-Freak did pick up the Chain Lightning creep, which not too bad.
Yep. I like the idea from Husky here to rotate top. This is one of the primary benefits you get from playing carry, and she's extremely self-sufficient. At level 5, you see he's got 302 build, so if there's any pressure coming from the offlane, you just heal yourself back up to full. You can farm here, you can pressure on your own in a 1v2 even sometimes. You can pressure out the offlaner. So it does free up your Wyvern to do other things on the map, and I really liked his choice there of getting mobile. And I would like to see him not come back bottom at all, actually. I think just leave Costa down here as long as he wants to stay there. And find other ways of impacting the map. This is nice so far from him on the Wyvern. Also his skill build, like we talked about, the point and heal, not particularly common to see on level 2, but it saved his life 2 or 3 times against the Dawn. It's super high value. MSS with Invis. He did get spotted by the sentry though.
And they saw him take it originally because Gunnar was looking for that rune to begin with. Dispose. Here comes a Solar Guardian on top of the Cold Embrace, so that's actually going to be anti-synergistic as Moo ends up getting Starbreaker. It's not going to connect on the last stun, but it's not going to really matter. It's a 1-for-1. Avalanche toss. Leslie getting quite low, but looks like he's going to be fine. So the chase is now into MSS, who will be chased down eventually. Has the Dispose, will use it, but one more right click does it as Z-Freak actually gets credit with the Chain Lightning.
Yep. Gets a tip from MSS.
So I think that was, what, 2 supports for 1 core in that position 3 for Nouns.
Wait, did Fata die?
Yeah, 2 died.
Oh, he did, yeah. Yep, 2 for 1. Pretty good for Nouns, right? That was a Dawn ult. Usually when you use the first Dawn ulti, that means you get the favorable exchange, but pretty even.
Speaking of even, mid lane, Quinn has about a 300 gold advantage, so relatively even.
Just raw CS. He has 20 more CS than Gunnar, who's been moving a little bit more.
20 more? Okay,
yeah.
That's only equates to 300 in this case.
Yeah, Quinn has died, and the Tiny does have 2 kills, right? So
true.
Well, I guess the death was
going to get gone on Searing Chains into the Starbreaker. Gunnar completely out of mana. MSS has come as well, as Quinn gets credit for that kill, so that's going to separate him just a bit more now. But like you said, Costa on the Enchantress is top net worth and kind of left to his own devices in the bot lane. Of course, Leslie probably will have some issues playing against him since that is a melee versus Enchantress core. Fata. Nope, Scatterblast not really going to connect. The Searing Chains onto 2 with the Remnants to follow. The focus is on Moo again, but he's super tanky. And the rest of Quincy crew are going to have to back now that Z-Freak has popped that Scorched Earth.
Yeah, Quinn isn't exactly at his at the peak yet. Like Ember level 8 with 4 points in Flame Guard is, once that Flame Guard wears out, you're not really a particularly powerful hero, so they don't really have the interest in pursuing and getting extra, trying to put extra pressure on that exchange. So they back off, and it's going to cost them their tower with this rotation up here from Costabile. So
Quinn, Remnants back into an Avatos. Z-Freak only level 4, so no Doom to work with.
Yeah, level 4 Flame Guard just absorbs so much of that tiniest damage that was largely irrelevant. This obviously means that Husky is now bottom with Enchantress moving away, and Leslau's going to try to take advantage of that.
Yep, has his hammer at the ready. Will use it. Husky.
This is not enough yet.
Pops the Fairy Fire, yeah, and there's a TP coming in, so Leslau making the correct choice and backing up, but his courier looks to be dead via the tower.
Oh, the TP behind Husky actually got cancelled, but obviously I don't know if Leslau saw it to begin with, and he obviously won't know that it did get cancelled. Maybe now he will after throwing that hammer, getting all that vision, and nobody was there. So we'll continue to farm up in bot lane.
Yeah, Husky doing a good job of kind of delaying it, though. Like you said, they got that tier 1 top for free, and it wasn't at really any trade, so...
That's for free, yeah.
Yep, well, you can have something for free with a trade still. We'll think of an example, I'm sure. I'm sure somebody could come up with an example.
I mean, I guess if you get something for free and then I give you something for free right after, you could consider it a trade, but it was technically two separate.
It's a trade for free.
It was two separate exchanges.
It isn't. An exchange is a trade. You're trading something free for something free. As I think we all just got dumber listening to that, as
I did. I firsthand, definitely.
Sorry about that.
You guys listened to it online. I was there live. And it's even worse.
It's even more powerful in person.
It is. You have an aura.
Yes, well, I've been told that many a time. I appreciate that. I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah, that's perfect proof of the aura right there.
Gunnar looking to push this mid lane as the familiars have come from Moo. Along with the hero itself, of course, as Gunnar has his Blink Dagger back at base, so gonna see how much he's able to snowball on this mid-tiny.
Pretty decent damage on the mid-tower here as well, should not be underestimated. Do they have Glyph? They don't, to try to save their siege creep, but Visage did get about 35–40% of that mid-tower in that push, so maybe with the 15-minute siege wave mid, that will be Nouns' next big move to try to progress on their map control.
I wonder if Z-Freak got the tome or not, because he's still not level 6 at 11.5 minutes now.
Yeah, he probably didn't. Husky's level 7. Wait, where is the tome? Husky might have got level 7 organically. He's been bottom for quite a while, so...
Yeah, he really has.
Maybe they gave the tome to a core.
That's a little surprising. Figured Doom at this stage of the game would be pretty damn good, as there's the rebound. MSS. Okay, a little bit of miscommunication, but they should have enough damage to take out Moo. TP does come, but obviously too late in this case.
Might lose his birdies as well here.
And, I mean, they did smoke with Gunnar initially because of the blink reveal, but now Quincy Crew will know that he has it, so not going to be a big surprise. Quinn gets off the Searing Chains.
This is quite the chase. I know you have Donald, but...
And Gunnar turning around, and Quinn will follow suit. Avalanche into the toss, and there's the Doom just in time, so big mistake from Quinn.
I don't fully understand what the plan was there, because, like, if you're trying to slight chains with Donald, you need more than a level 1 chain from max range in order to connect. And you know the turnaround potential is there from a Tiny to do something. Maybe he wasn't expecting the Doom. I mean, that's fair. Z-Freak just got 6 in the fog. It's just, if you don't get Doomed there, what did you accomplish anyway, right? Like, that just felt like a very low reward play. And it actually turns out to be really costly, right? Now he died and lost his mid tower for basically nothing. So Quinn's first, I would say, major mistake of the series does cost them dearly.
MSS with a very good item, the Horsey, to try to close the gap, but Avalanche is going to stop everything in its tracks. So Nouns off to a much better start, and still top 2 net worths are the position 1s for each respective team. And Enchantress with a little bit of separation from Costabile. Are you expecting any kind of a different build this time around? He went Dragonlance, Hurricane Pike, which he's doing again. And then he went, I believe, Sheepstick, if I'm not mistaken. After
he
that.
went,
and BKB before that, probably.
He went BKB, Hex, Moonshard last game, I think. So full-on single target damage. I think a similar route here is good. I think you need that overwhelming single target damage against Medusa this game.
We have the curse onto Quinn, and the gargoyle set up to try to continue the stun with the avalanche toss, and he's going to be brought down again. So Quinn, 2 quick deaths. Very, very costly for Quincy crew.
5-man rotation, though, coming out from Nouns. Really didn't want to lose that bottom tower, which I admire. I think defending this tower here is a good play for them, but perhaps slight over-rotation. But they're going to try to turn it into a play of their own this way. Pushing the tower with Ench and Visage, while the 3 other heroes are going to smoke across to mid and find Leslau.
Yep, avalanche. Toss back into the fray. Leslau with the TP.
Infernal Blade.
Yep, Infernal Blade to cancel it, and that should lead to yet another kill for Nouns. But on the other side, Moo, with that single push, is going to be brought down. Leslau still staying alive a little bit longer than originally thought, but this will be a really big kill on the Costa Bile, so he sticks around as well.
That was
obviously very hard to take him out with that untouchable. In fact, he kills MSS before going down himself, and there the TPs come. Gunner not able to get much out of this as the toss back from his teammate.
Okay. Yep, they are back bot, all 3 of the living heroes from each team. The map is just... Look at all this gold just vanishing,
wide open.
Going to waste, mid lane.
Yeah, but if both teams are doing it, then...
Yeah, of course. What do you think?
It's a free trade.
Imagine you're a ranged creep and you get 4 last hits. What do you buy?
Wow, that's a good question. Probably mana boots eventually.
You buy nothing because you're a ranged creep and you're going to run down mid until you die.
Why do they have mana? Have you ever thought about that?
That's a good question.
They evolve to a point where they have mana, but they don't use it in any way.
I think it's the only way to make Anti-Mage pickable in 1% of games. So if they didn't have mana, he would be unplayable.
Okay, that's a fair point.
It's strictly for his sake.
I mean, sometimes, the way that species evolve, they tend to cater to one other species as a predator. So the range creep's predator is just heroes in general.
Maybe they used mana in a previous evolution, and now they've just evolved past that, but they still have this mana depot.
That's right. Avalanche toss onto MSS. He's quite low. Hammer comes back. Looks like he's fine, though.
It's kind of their appendix.
Or their tonsils, yeah.
Yes. That's maybe a better example.
So they've lost the technology on how to use the mana, but they still have it. I mean, our tonsils are because we use, to prevent choking, if I'm not mistaken. And the appendix, I have no idea, actually.
So maybe my example was better.
I have no clue. All right, back to the game, of course, because this isn't a very important series, Cinder.
As you can tell from the commentary.
Yes.
All right.
The Cold Embrace, keeping the siege alive a little bit longer.
It did nothing.
Yeah, it kept it alive about 4 seconds longer. But which team would you be happier with the state of the current game?
Probably Quincy. I think, again, if you're Nouns, you would like to press the issue a little bit here. Keep in mind you're
rebound, dispose. Here comes the Solar Guardian as well. Z-Freak is dead.
Oh, my goodness. Don't know if that Solar Guardian was even necessary, but ensures the kill for sure. You're playing with a 4 Doom who went 1-4-1 build, so I feel like Z-Freak's curve compared to what we've seen from other Dooms is going to take quite a while, right? His net worth is the same as the enemy 4, or actually lower at this point than Fata on the snap. I'm going to call Fata the 4 because effectively they are playing MSS as a 5. Marcy is not a very adept farmer, so if you play it as a 4 and you want it to have more net worth than the 5, you need to commit quite a lot of time to just hitting creeps in lane.
Right.
And a lot of the time you want to be off map to pose a threat instead, and that will naturally make your other support hero take up more net worth, which, if there's like a handful of 5 players that are just really good at using net worth, Fata is on my list of players that get a lot of value out of gold on supports. So
Avalanche and toss really into the creeps, into the arms of Z-Freak, who gets the Infernal Blade up, but MSS ticking away. Looks like he's going to rebound to safety, though. There's a sidekick used on Yawar, who's already popped the Stone Gaze. Quinn is here as well. And the rest of Quincy crew seem to be connecting, but not able to find a kill for themselves in this little mini engagement. But you can see Yawar is top net worth, and he's starting to pull away pretty nicely. Starting to get these ancient camps. Has his Manta can just about pick up the ultimate orb, the first of which for the eventual Scotty.
Yep.
And I mean, is this a game, like, how much do you care about getting doomed? Like, do you need to get a Lincolns at some point? Because the stats aren't, I mean, that's pretty good for Medusa, but you want to get some damage first.
I don't think you have to consider Doom that big of a threat if Marcy goes Shard at some point. I think you can just toss the Medusa out of the fight and let your Marcy die and then reset. Like, trading away your Marcy if she has a buyback for getting rid of the Doom on your carry is probably a pretty good trade later on. Alternative measures of saving are obviously Donald. You could get the Snapfire Ags, which is a real possibility for Fatsa because of how rich he is, but looks like he is going to go for the Wraith Pact, which I really like that choice. I think it's going to land at a good time to combat Nouns going for their first, like, potentially game-winning team fight around this 25-minute mark, where they would like to win a big fight and then get racks. Wraith Pact is going to overlap with that and potentially slow them down quite a lot on that.
And similar to game one,
yep,
Roche #1 will go the way of Nouns, uncontested. Showing the power of Untouchable. Obviously not the fastest Roche, but don't have to worry about at least taking damage at all. And Aegis, again, do you agree this time that it's on Costabile? Last time you were kind of questioning whether that was the right choice.
Yeah, I think in this game it makes more sense to me to put it on him than in the last one. I also, once again, would not have minded seeing it on Gunner. I think this time around, Enchantress is probably more susceptible to getting burst, and you could play Costabile in the front a little bit more.
Ooh, Avalanche!
No toss angle.
Couldn't get the toss off. Quinn, spirits away. Z-Freak now has his blink down. It's actually being delivered. I'm assuming he's going to look for a Centaur creep, but we'll see. So they have another layer of initiation on top of Gunner's Blink Dagger, who now has an Echo Saber, so he can start to deal a lot of damage. I mean, the issue for him is every hero is pretty damn tanky. Like, you can't really 100 to 0 anybody without the help of additional teammates. There's a nice Searing Chains from Quinn, going to cancel that TP from Moo, and the kisses are enough to take him out.
Moo's going to ping out the ward that they must have in order to get that Slight Chains or have the read that he is there, and he is correct. There is indeed a defensive ward there, and the question is when they're going to go there and clean that up. But similar to the last game, it is following quite a similar trajectory, I have to say. Again, the carry ench is farmed, but isn't so far. This is 2 minutes off the Aegis that they haven't really been able to pressure anything, and Yawar is just getting to play however he likes. This game, it's on the Dusa. Last game, it was Lifestealer. Just farming up, building an advantage. And man, I'm a little bit worried for Nouns when this Dusa gets very big. I think I'm gonna give Carriench the benefit of the doubt in that matchup that she might actually be able to overpower Medusa and deal insane amounts of damage later, so you can solve it. But the rest of the lineup does not fare well against a 3 or 4 slotted Dusa in this later portion of the mid game. And you know the protection is there for Dawn, who, okay, Leslau will get jumped by Costabile and get out. I was wondering if Leslau in this game could actually go for a utility route with Ags to protect the Dusa, because Ench will not get MKB more than likely, or will not want to. Tiny, same story, so you could negate a ton of that physical damage. Visage Birds can never solve that problem, but he is going to go for a different defensive item, the hybrid item in the Halberd, so he can disarm the Ench, probably, which serves a similar purpose, but gives himself more tankability with that evasion.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Costabile did not opt for a BKB this game.
Yep.
At least not yet, so the Halberd, if used,
Top tier 2 is dead.
be very valuable.
We'll claim the first tier 2 tower of the game, so Outpost is up for grabs here for Nouns.
Now that is...
Little known fact, Outpost is in fact a noun.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So are many other words that you've said in this game.
I've said a lot of nouns, including the word nouns.
Oh.
As Quinn gonna defend this tower. A BKB on Moo. Visage. Can't say I've seen that a ton. I mean, a very inherently tanky hero.
Yeah. A lot of the times you would see Visage get Wraith Pact or get some sort of other aura items for the team and then get the Shard for defense, but he feels like he has to get a BKB to protect himself. I understand. When you've seen how these fights play out, he is very susceptible to the Snapfire Ember combination.
Yeah, we have the Scorched Earth onto Fada. Looks like he's going to attempt to TP out.
War Stomp creep.
War Stomp finally taken. Lesla getting chased in the meantime by Gunnar as well. So, in all likelihood, Nouns going to end up with 2 kills in this bot lane.
All right. Good picks.
I wish there was another creep that Doom could go for late game. That actually...
Alpha Wolf?
Yeah, but like that was the old... Ooh, Z-Freak gets off the Hoof Stomp and the Doom with the body blocks to come. Moo trying to use his little familiars to get a stun off. And this looks like it's going to be enough to take out Quinn again. So 3 deaths make it 4. Oh. Marcy taken out in her own base by Gunnar. What is going on? This is with the Aegis, and I feel like you don't even need it for this.
The Aegis is... I mean, maybe that's part of the reason that Quincy are spread as much as they are, is that they don't want to take a fight into the Aegis.
That's true.
But really good job from Nouns finding so many kills in different spots of the map and not bringing too many heroes. That's something they, I think, did a little bit more in the early game of this game, maybe over-rotated slightly. But these moves, they've managed to do a very good job at not over-rotating and therefore getting more value. Finding kills in separate positions, and we'll get another tier 2. So, okay, it's starting to look like something now. Especially Quinn is relatively quiet for the fact that he's playing one of his best heroes on Ember. He's 2-4-4. Last game on the puck, he made tons of space and really good plays. This time around, he hasn't really been able to find the same success.
Yeah, and he is not that far from finishing his Lincoln Sphere, so the Doom is going to be really hard to get off, especially if you have the War Stomp, which I will continue to call Hoof Stomp, by the way. As you can see, the Wraith Pact is taken out immediately. Here comes Quinn with a nice Searing Chains onto a couple of heroes, but he gets doomed again. Oh, he gets brought down quickly. Oh. And double kill from Leslau, though, to kind of counteract this, as Gunnar now on the run, but Leslau continuing to beat the absolute crap out of him. BKB finally popped by Gunnar, and that looks like it'll save his life. Costa Bile. And he's going to dodge the Starbreaker, but still the triple kill for Leslau. Great turnaround, despite Quinn dying right off the bat.
My God, Fatsa did so much damage in that fight. Like, this is a 5. Oh, well, you could argue it's a 4, right? But the way that was all set up, it was a very good War Stomp there from Z-Freak in order to kill Quinn, but they had to drop absolutely everything, and they really compromised position in the trade-off, right? Their heroes are piling on top of each other, and I think the Snapfire hits 4 or 5 kisses in a row on 2 heroes. You're going to see the replay here. So Quinn, nice familiar stomps or drops there, but this combo here, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
That is so damn much damage. And yeah, Gunnar, fortunate to survive here, just barely gets out toward the end there with a late pop BKB. But he's the only one to survive that exchange. And yeah, huge grab for especially Yawar there, as the carry being the sole survivor of the fight in terms of cores, with the exception of that Tiny. He got a huge amount of gold out of that exchange and will, as a result, not only complete the Scotty that he showed up with, now he has a Shadow Blade.
Oh.
Building toward the Silver Edge, so if he gets the first hit off on Enchantress, she can very quickly get killed with Stone Gate.
Indeed, and they're going to get to dispose. Not quite on the high ground, but the Searing Chains will keep Gunnar in place. Cold Embrace into the Curse, and look at Quinn again, just getting bursted down, but the Solar Guardian keeping alive, but no. Soul Assumption is enough from Mood to get the kill. So again, Quinn dying, which means Quincy are going to have to back up. Stone Gaze popped.
Very well played there by Husky. That's perfect. He gets the Cold Embrace off on Gunnar, which buys him the time for BKB to come off cooldown, and then he finds that Curse on Quinn next to Medusa and actually effectively kills a core as 5. So very nice.
Quincy Cruz, basically their entire, like the fact that it's even is impressive, and it's really on Yawar. Look at the separation in net worth between him and anybody else. But the next 3 are all on Nouns.
If Yawar could, I think he would like to buy a 1,000 gold gift card for Quinn right now, because he really needs some help. He needs to get this Lincolns, and the Dusa doesn't need 1k gold right now. That's okay, you know, he could give away a little bit if he was able to.
That was a great Warcraft 3 feature, being able to send gold to a teammate.
Oh,
man.
Imagine that in Dota. That would be great.
Yeah, the position 5s would have literally 0 gold, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Just constantly siphoning it away.
Yeah, the first 600 they just wouldn't even use for region. They would just give all their gold to the carriers. They could show up to lane with 2 bands of Elven skin.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that would be... Yeah, let's do that.
We have a Mind Breaker for both sides. Dawnbreaker, I'm pretty sure it works really well on Starbreaker, right? The Obviously, the silence works, but the extra damage that you get, the 25 magic attack damage, applies to each proc of Starbreaker, similar to Pango's Q.
Could argue that you don't get the most value out of the attack speed, though, because that doesn't synergize at all with your Starbreaker.
Synergizes with your passive, though, after the Starbreaker.
It does. It's not terrible, for sure. I also,
with the spider legs on the cliff. He's going to get tossed back, though. Has to be careful. The cold embrace keeps him alive, but he is completely separated. The Mortimer's Kiss is coming now. He pops the BKB, but dies shortly after. 60 seconds of no gunner, no buyback.
That is the problem. There's a very big difference between...
Dispose again. It's not over yet. Continuing to stun lock. There's the cold embrace, or the curse, I should say. As MSS looks like he's going to drop as a result. So it's a 1-for-1 Z-Freak with the War Stomp. Getting chased now by Quinn. Hammer coming. Leslau with a huge Starbreaker. Another cold embrace, saving Z-Freak for now. Goes to Belay. Will likely have to leave Z-Freak on his own. He will do just that. A 2-for-1, which I believe will end here after the Tier 1 tower in Quincy Crew's favor.
It makes such a huge difference what conditions the cold embrace gets used on the Tiny Under, right? So the difference here is that last time, Tiny was in the river facing away from the opponent. This time, Tiny is on the enemy hill getting cold embraced, and you have the easiest time ever as Dusa timing your ult and just placing yourself in front of the Tiny. So he got petrified coming out of the cold embrace and just got burst down, never got the chance to survive. He got the BKB off, but, I mean, then he was petrified, so makes no difference and effectively just wastes that charge. So Gunner now down to 6-seconder. Won't go lower than that for him, fortunately.
Well, Quinn did finish the Lincoln Sphere a little bit ago, by the way. So he can play, well, his net worth is abysmal for where he usually is, but it's really, if you look at the grand scheme of things, not as far down as you would think. Like,
no.
Look at the number 2 through, what number is that? 6? They're all relatively close.
It's close, and then there's Dusa, you know? Good old Dusa.
Dusa on her own.
On an island. A very rich people's island.
That's right. I was going to make a joke, but probably not the best to do that one, Cinderin. Just going to say that out loud. You are. With the Silver Edge. Okay, they have to dispose. They break. Costa Belay, and he is dead. Gunner gets the toss, but it's just a dead corpse. And he's going to die trying to save his teammates. So 2 big kills for Quincy Crew. I would love to get the replay of the toss on the corpse if we could, and second Roche is available, so I would assume Quincy Crew will get that uncontested.
Yeah, seems very likely. Leslau in front. And he's going to buy the shard. Well, maybe he won't now. He has it queued up. Let's see if he takes it or if they give it to Yawar or maybe to MSS.
All right, so this is, he's broken, dies mid-air, tosses the corpse. Was he technically alive when he tossed?
You can't toss a dead hero.
Why not? But was he alive mid-air? Like, I guess he died like right at the beginning of the toss, not even halfway.
He dies here.
Yeah, so, like right there. Thank you. Very good production.
Oh man, I love this sound. Please keep playing this. Way too dang.
It's music to my ears right now. As bot lane, we can see they're trying to chase the Wyvern, but Husky. Oh, he might run into MSS. If MSS just stood still, he spotted him.
Yeah, Husky did not cut the trees that he was hoping for, and he is dead.
And dispose. Anytime you hear the word dispose, it means there's a kill coming. And it looks like Yawar is going to get credit for that one. And he is ginormous. So I believe he is the one that took the shard from Roche. And
he was, yep.
He is on his way to a BKB.
Leslau bought his own, so I gotta say, it feels really good. Have you played Dawn since she got the shard? Or did you only play her when she came out?
I think once.
Yeah. This shard feels so good to play with. It is amazing.
It gives you a lot of freedom in the game. Just being able to move around like freely is really nice. Yawar gets a free tier 2. And now you're starting to see, as he was queuing up a BKB but opting for a butterfly for now. We'll see if he sticks to that. But obviously very good against Enchantress, similar to what you were talking about with the Solar Guardian evasion, if you got that Ags.
True.
Dire's top tower.
It's like, all right, you're not going to buy Ags on Dawnbreak, I'll buy a butterfly.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, he has committed already with the Eagle Song, and then we have the smoke. So see how much.
Is under attack.
Wait a second. Okay, the Aegis actually, they smoked and the Aegis icon disappeared from the top. I was like, what the hell just happened? Jeff Hill, please fix.
In a Jeffy.
Quinn, you can't use it twice in a row.
Watch
Move,
me.
BKB. I did, actually. Literally.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Quinn working on an Aghanim Scepter for himself. Taking out the gargoyles in the meantime.
A little birdie snack. Look at that. Now Quinn is second on net worth.
Yeah.
Just kidding. He's 20 gold behind Ench. This will be quite the thrill to watch these two swap positions non-stop. And look at Tiny as well as Dawnbreaker. 100 gold net worth difference.
Wow.
Keep your eyes on the bars, guys. This is
riveting.
There we go. Quinn's ahead again.
Radiant's
Wow.
mid
Can you keep
Tiny's
us
now
updated?
behind Dawn.
Keep it up.
Tiny's ahead of Dawn. Tiny's going to stay ahead of Dawn for a while. All right, that was that.
fortified.
Congratulations to those heroes that are now on top of the other heroes that you mentioned. Quincy crew going to take out the tier 1 top. Still 2 minutes left on the Aegis, and now Butterfly officially competed on Iwar as this DD is dissipating, but I would assume that they just continue to plow down and at the very least poke high ground. I don't know if they have enough time to take a full fight or if they even feel comfortable doing so.
Really a big fan of how Quincy are spreading their heroes on the map right now. So Yawar with this Aegis is pushing the top tower effectively solo. He has a bit of protection behind with the Marcy with Blink as well as Psychic Headband, so he could Blink, toss him back, and buy time for the team to connect. But they know that Nouns are very unlikely to try to take this fight into the Aegis, so they're just... He's effectively just solo pushing 2 towers while the rest of his team are farming jungle and pushing out bottom as well.
Yeah, Fata tanking a gank, but Solar Guardian keeping him alive, and Z-Freak trying to get away. As you see the curse now applied onto 2. As Dawnbreaker beating the crap out of Fata. Looks like that'll lead to a kill, but the Dispose, which, you know what that means? That is going to be a very alive gunner who pops the BKB and runs away. As Yawar, he's drained a mana completely. Acosta Bile doing a lot from the high ground, but he's going to get Searing Chains,
Nice
Force Staffed to the low ground. Leslau gets off the Starbreaker. The Cold Embrace keeps him alive. Another Dispose, this time back onto the high ground. But look at MSS just dropping from 100 to 0. As the pressure continues, looks like finally Costa Bile ends up getting killed. Buys back immediately though as Leslau gets doomed on top of this gunner. Cold Embrace. These Cold Embraces have been super clutch from Husky as a double kill for Moo ensues. Nouns winning this fight in spades, but can they continue? Looks like the Sleight of Fist finally comes in from Quinn. That ends up being a double kill, netting the kill onto Gunner, as he is the only one that hasn't been able to buy back in this fight. And look at the damage coming from Costa Bile. Yawar attempting to TP out, will be successful. So they don't get these couple very high value kills, but still a relatively good fight from Nouns. But actually, how many buybacks did that actually cost them? There's only one.
Yeah, it was Costa Bile though, which is a pretty expensive one. It is the carry buyback against that of the Marcy. But yeah, given the circumstances of net worth in this game and the heroes and everything, I think Nouns fighting into Aegis there and getting that outcome was pretty decent.
Yeah, BKB from Mo. He'll be fine. Husky, I don't think they have another stun, so away he goes. Witchbane on Enchantress. That sounds very good.
Yep, that item is the item against Medusa.
Yeah. Very lucky that dropped. Huh?
Yeah.
What do you think of neutral?
Fogged and I are going to have a great time talking about this later. So Witchbane, passively, this item is not particularly popular, so people might not be familiar with it. It deals 4% of the target's max mana in damage. So against a hero like Medusa, who as a carry has a lot of max mana, the EHP you're taking off per hit by dealing the damage and taking that off the mana shield is really substantial. It is probably the single carry in the game that this item is the best against.
And you get 20 attack speed on top of that.
Yep.
Because why not?
Of course, you do get the active as well for the purge, which you can purge off chains.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Pretty nice here.
Yeah. Is that you can target yourself?
Anyone.
Oh, anybody. Wait, which is the one that they changed? Was that a different?
You mean Flicker?
Oh yeah, maybe it was Flicker.
But Flicker only targets yourself, but then you don't move if you've taken damage in 3 seconds. Then you're just
yeah, that's right.
Dispelling on the spot. Okay, I think Husky might be in some serious trouble soon.
Yeah.
And Costa Bile would be the big pick, though.
Oh, we have the Solar Guardian set up with... Oh my god, they don't even need it. Fata just solos Husky.
I think Fata did not see Costa Bile there. That could have been game-losing for Nouns.
The fact that Fata has Boots of Travel and Shadow Blade along with Wraith Pact. What the hell am I watching? Moo, extremely tanky. Gets a Soul Assumption off onto MSS, who's trying to bide his time as Yawar comes in. Avalanche is going to keep him at bay. A nice toss out to safety. So Moo likely will survive. Quinn, Lincoln's is already procced. Yawar just pounding on the tower. This feels like core farm for Fata on the Snapfire.
Yeah, I think that's something that Quincy have a very good understanding of with this Marcy pick, is that they know Marcy isn't going to take very much space, so Fata is going to take extra. He has 200 CS on Snap, and the Marcy has 30.
Yep.
So MSS is effectively leaving Fata to farm. So here, if Fata had seen Costa Bile here, he would not have gone for this play.
But it worked out.
Dude, he did 1,700 damage in Snap there.
It's like, yep, I'm a support, by the way.
It me.
I mean, the cookie out of Invis into the Scatterblast Shard, that's a literal permastun. Not much you can do about that if you're Husky.
Yeah, he didn't even get the Shadow Blade attack off, did he?
No.
He started with the cookie, so he could have done even more damage if he had done it in opposite order.
But would you have time to get the cookie off before, like, a curse comes or something?
Oh, if you... I mean, I don't think there's any world where Wyvern expects to get jumped there, right? So I don't think, like, human reaction time, you're not...
What if they're not human?
I can't relate to that.
Yes, you can, actually, as Nouns is going to smoke up. BKB now online for Costa Bile. It's a little bit later than last game.
Yep.
But has his Moon Shard. Go along with the Witchblade.
Fata.
As we have
he got the Shadow Blade
Avalanche,
off.
but yeah,
Inhuman reaction.
Told you.
Well, he's on the other team.
Okay, so he's the one that's not human.
Nice jump.
Slide of Fist onto several heroes. Quinn, Solar Guardian, not really going to stun anybody, but Leslie has come to play, gets off the Starbreaker, doesn't really connect onto anybody because of that Aghanim Scepter. Is Husky doing a lot of damage, and it looks like that Doom was applied to Quinn, so they end up proccing that Lincoln. He's going to buy back into the game, though. There's a nice curse onto Yawar. Do they have enough to actually follow this up with? Hoof Stomp to follow as Gunnar getting extremely low, and now with Quinn back in the fray, I believe Nouns are going to start crumbling. Moo left to his own devices as Fata and Leza just focusing on him. They take out the Wyvern on the other side. They high-five as this fight is going on. Fata not even damaging, not even bother going for the kill. He's just getting some creep kills in the meantime. So Quincy crew end up winning this fight big time.
It looks like a good curse, but it's on the wrong target. Cursing Medusa next to basically her entire team, it just doesn't matter. She's way too tanky, and the follow-up is it kind of baits Nouns to try to pile onto it, and Yawar just pops BKB ult and just hits everyone, and that fight was just over the moment they committed out of the curse. You have to curse someone else than Dusa there, or if you curse the Dusa and you catch 4 people in it, that's good. Just get the hell out. Like, that could have been a disengaged play because Quinn was dead.
Yeah. 2 buybacks from Nouns. And they have 2 more to expend, but the big one, which is their position 1 Enchantress, which again, it feels very similar to last game in terms of impact, in my opinion at least, not able to buy back. So this could open up this 3rd Roche, which they have scouted out.
Yeah, it's guaranteed, Quincy. There is absolutely no way you can test this without Doom and Ench.
It is a Refresher Shard, which I assume goes on Quinn. That is a pretty... I mean, obviously you'd always want Ags, I think, as a 3rd Roche, but...
Yeah, well, he already has that, so he's happy.
Yeah, but you could have given it to Fata. A Fata Ag sounds pretty nice.
You could use the Refresher Shard to refresh his buyback. How about that?
Oh, yeah. If only it worked that way.
Yep.
What if you could activate it while dead to refresh your buyback, but then it's on cooldown, obviously. It's like a, you know, you're losing something. I should balance this game. Bring back Necro, can't buy back Reaper Scythe. Missed that too.
Yeah. Centaur Hoof Stomp, 10 seconds stun.
Oh, hell yeah. We have the Solar Guardian coming in as BKB is popped, but there's the bash. As Quinn and company gonna be able to take out Gunnar again. 120 seconds, no buyback.
Do you know what he is?
What?
He's a goner.
Oh, that's good. Man, the dad jokes are really coming in strong with you.
You like them, don't you?
I do, actually. Because sometimes they're so dumb that I can't even understand them. Like
those are the best ones.
It's below the threshold of where I'm able to get done. You know, like my lowest point, sometimes I just don't understand it because it's just brain dead. But that was good.
I'm just really smart. That's why you don't get them.
That's true.
There's so much
your
depth.
floor is my ceiling.
That was actually pretty smart.
Thank you.
I take it back. You're probably clever.
Radiant's bottom
Oh
okay.
boy, Leslau gets off the Starbreaker and then the BKB afterwards. And that is a dead Z-Freak. Has to buy back into the game though, as the Mortimer Kiss is doing a decent amount of damage. Meanwhile, Gwen just focusing on the support. So Husky's dead right off the bat. And there's the Silver Edge break. So dead Costa Belay again. Moo does get the TP off, but it's going to be a 2v5. Still with the Aegis, still with the cheese. As I say that, the cheese is consumed. And now you have the little Shredder talents from Fata as the position 4. Actually a crazy game from him in terms of farm. Doom comes in, gets off his ult, but dies shortly after. Fata very happy with this game as Quincy crew are going to win 2-0. They are still undefeated, 10-0, I believe, overall in this season. And Nouns, that is their first series loss. So now they are tied, I believe, with EG, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, both teams now. Oh, well, EG are 3-1 and now